hello, I'm Kråkan, also known as Kråkan, and welcome to Classic Movie Rambles, where I talk about all the movies that I found in my closet while cleaning. This week's movie is Hitman, Agent 47. It's about 1 hour and 36 minutes long, and the movie starts with a narrating voice explaining about the agent program from back in 1967. And the creator, Peter, and he basically managed to escape, and they basically are looking for him ever since. So, cutting to current day, when Agent 47, this agent created in this program, he's an assassin, and he hacks into a network and he tracks some guys in a car, he takes them out, but some of them manage to escape, but they think they're safe, but they're not. He kills them and he takes what he wants. And then cutting to a girl named Katya, she is looking for something as well. We don't really know what it is. But anyway, she goes to get some fake passports because she's traveling somewhere. And she has like this strange kind of sense about memory and stuff. It will come up later in the movie, so it will be explained then. And then cutting back to Agent 47 scanning the police network to find Katya, and he finds her apartment, and cutting to Katya in her apartment where she has all this crazy stuff up, like putting up like needles and red jar between, connecting the dots between the photos. We don't know this yet, but she's looking for her father. And then 47 managed to find out where she is, as I said, and he goes to her apartment, but she escapes. And Katya runs down into the subway, and she gets confronted by this guy called Smith. And then Agent 47 arrives, and they fight each other. And somehow Smith and Katya manage to run away from Agent 47, and they run to the embassy where Smith fires a gun, so they get taken in for interrogation because you're not supposed to fire a gun in like the area of the embassy. So they get taken for like interrogation, and Agent 47 walks in there, and this is a funny scene. He just like the lobby scene in The Matrix. He has like bags with guns and stuff, and he gets taken in because it's full with all these lethal weapons. And he gets interrogated, and he's chained to the table. And he talks, and the agent interrogates him what he's doing, why he has so much high tech and guns on him, and he, Agent 47 intimidates him into like fire him with the sniper. So he has like this hair trigger on his sniper rifle, which is really sensitive. So he just lifts up the hand or something and just bangs the table or whatever, and the sniper rifle fires off, and he shoots off the chain. It's kind of ridiculous, but he's like hypersensitive and has all these abilities. So he managed to escape the interrogation room, and Smith as well managed to do so, and he jumps through a window, cracking like one of those fortified windows, which is kind of weird. I don't know why. So it basically ends up with a car chase, and Agent 47 runs up on a rooftop, and he managed to shoot like another sniper rifle. He's basically taking another soldier's disguise in a rifle, and he managed to shoot Katya through the window, through like anticipating the wind and everything, but he just scratches her on the cheek or in like the shoulder or something. And then the next day we found out that she's fine, and they're at this place, and she's taking a shower, and then Smith drops like an information dump about her father and what he was doing, and they basically need to find her father his agenda is much more evil, but she doesn't know that yet. And then Agent 47 enters the room, and he basically shoots Smith basically to death, and he knocks Katya out. And when she wakes up, she's bound to a chair, and he basically tells her to trust him and to trust her memories. So she has this flashback, and she managed to get out of the situation. It's basically like a thing that would suck in like the chair and everything. Really weird scene. Why would you do that? The only person that you basically tie her up to a chair. I don't know. So Katya basically untie herself from the chair before it gets sucked into a jet engine, and then she and Agent 47 talk, and he tells her basically that she is like him, only better. So yeah. And then the bad guys arrives, and 47 tries to take him out. He used improved weapons, just like the games. And Smith arrives. He doesn't have like a scratch on him, and he knocks Katya out. And Agent 47 fights Smith, but he can't harm him because he has had like inner armor, like I think they call it like subabdominal like body armor or something. So he's impervious to like being killed, I guess. So then basically what happens is that Katya wakes up and saves 47. And Katya gives him the address, which is in Singapore, which they need to go, but the bad guys are listening in. And then cutting to Agent 48, which is an exact duplicate of 47, and he gets asked as well to go to Singapore. We don't know why yet, but it will lead up to the end. So then Smith figures out that they're going to Singapore, so that's where they're going. So at the airport, Agent 47 grabs some pilot clothes to blend in with the crowd, and Katya tries to avoid the cameras because the Syndicate, which is like the bad guys in this movie, they have access to everything, pretty much a big corporate syndicate. So she hides from the cameras, and Agent 47 picks her up in a nice car. And then later, Katya and 47 talks in a hotel, and Agent 47 goes to sleep, and Katya basically goes to take a swim in the hotel pool. And in the morning, when they wake up, the bad guys enter the room, and Katya, for some reason, has picked apart his guns, because when she gets nervous or anxious, she picks things apart. So he has to fight the bad guys with just his bare hands, which is kind of cool. And then they leave the hotel room, and Katya goes to see her father, because for some reason she figured out by herself that where her father was all along. So then Katya talks to her father in like this orchard park, and then Agent 47 arrives, and then the bad guys arrive. So it basically turned into a car chase. In the end, they drive through a parking lot and later end up in a city, and the bad guys shoot like wires at the car so it can't move, but Agent 47 pulls a gun trick, I guess, and they manage to escape. But Peter can't run, and he gets shot in the leg as well, so he has like lung cancer, so he can't run that fast because it will exhaust him. And then Katya and 47 is forced to leave him behind, so the Syndicate picks him out, and Smith takes him to the Syndicate headquarters where he's tortured. And the chairman of the Syndicate that never leaves his safe room, he leaves his safe room just this once to talk to Peter in person, and they have a great dialogue about good and evil and how they're not so different, but Peter has the upper hand. So Agent 47 hacks the Syndicate system, and he tells the chairman that he has exactly what he wants, which is basically Katya with her super Hitman abilities. And then Katya is strapped to a helicopter, and she wakes up and she's unconscious, and she just drives the helicopter right into the glass window where the chairman says. So there's like while this is happening, Katya basically starts to take out the bad guys, and Agent 47 arrives disguised as a fireman, and he starts there's like a fight, and he's forced to fight Smith again. And he managed to electrocute him because he has like this subabdominal body armor which is made of metal, so he's very conductive to electricity, so he dies. And then 47 and Katya, they team up and they go to the roof, and there's a firefight, but the chairman and Peter escapes in a helicopter, and one of the bad guys shoots at Katya, and Agent 47 takes a bullet for her. And then Peter detonates, he has a detonator with him, and he detonates the helicopter with the chairman in it. So then Agent 47 is forced to report this to his superior, and the superior asks like if the chairman is dead, and he says yes. And then the operator says, well, is Katya dead? And he refuses. He kind of stalls a bit, and then he just drops the phone. So now he's a wanted man by his own and just about any other contractor that wants his skin. So they're just going to take the elevator down, but Katya feels something is wrong, and then the elevator door opens and Agent 48 is there. And that's pretty much the end of the movie. So what do I think about this movie? It's a good action movie, and somehow it's faithful to the games, which I didn't think initially. It has this moment which is kind of a characteristics of the movie. He dresses up as the thing that will blend in the most. So if there's like a party setting, he dress up like a waiter, and later he will acquire like another custom upgrade so he can get into like the High Rollers launch. I mean, it's kind of cool, and there's this one scene in the movie which I didn't talk about. They're in like taking out the bad guys in this aircraft carrier or hangar, and he picks up like improvised weapons. And there is one of my favorite things, like the first thing you always go for in the game, you have knives and stuff, but you can always pick up like a screwdriver, and in the newest games it's actually one of the more lethal weapons up close. I thought that was funny. So Agent 47 is supposed to be this cold killer, and in the game he's kind of stale, but in this movie he has some funny moments where there's this scene where he goes into like an hotel, and he puts in like his fancy Hitman black suit, And the catch asks him like, why are there cameras around there or whatever? No, I'm looking for moth. Like, they love Italian cotton. And it's like, well, obviously you gotta look good dressed to kill, right? So yeah, I can recommend this movie. Just as an action movie, it's pretty good. It's fine. So anyway, thanks for listening and watching, and take care.